We are back with the 850 rated bots on chess.com, continuing the rating climb. Wow, F6. For some reason, I thought as the ratings went up, we would see better moves, but apparently that's not how it works. F6. Okay, it's not a good move. Of course, I'm going to keep an eye here. I'm going to keep an eye here and what we can do about these weaknesses. Let's just, for now, get 2 pawns in the center. Oh my. Oh my. It's just getting worse. Okay, well, I'm still considering the same thing. Here and here and here. These are the types of moves because they put pressure on these things. Now, bishop c4 check, it might look appealing, but after e6, it's kind of like, okay, I guess we could play d5, and maybe that's what I will do. But I could also think about getting the knight ready, maybe just bringing out this knight. But yeah, actually, I think I will. I think I will just immediately put some pressure on this, and I think I will probably play d5. Now, there's an argument to be made here that I should develop some more pieces first before I just start trying to attack. Of course, if they take me, I'm real happy because then the queen comes in. They go here, then of course I'm real happy because I could do this, and that looks pretty bad. But maybe I do want to just play knight f3 and castle, honestly. d5, though, would be an annoying move, so I don't think we want to allow d5. So knight to c3 or d5, yeah, let's do it. Let's go ahead and do it. And primarily, I don't want to allow d5. And what is happening? These are just so bad. I mean, okay. Well, we're gonna take it. The pawn can't even take because we win the queen. I don't know what black's gonna play. And okay, we have king e7. I mean, I guess I'm just going to take it and be happy that I'm up a pawn and black's king is about to... I don't know what black's king is doing. Okay. And probably going to develop a piece. I'm thinking this one because it gives me the option to jump in here. So let's play knight c3. Okay. And I could trade since I am up a pawn. The only issue is black's king is vulnerable. So I don't really want to trade. I would rather like checkmate the king. So how do we keep the queens on the board? Probably knight to d5 is a good way to do it. Let's go here. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we're going to take it with the bishop so we don't lose our bishop. I don't know. I feel like the bots have gotten worse. I mean, what, like, this is like what stuff that Martin would do. I don't even know if Martin would do that. I think Martin would play better than this. Honestly, this is quite surprising. This is quite surprising. All right, we're gonna take that. We're gonna castle and bring the rook over. And I mean, this is just embarrassing. Embarrassing for the bots right now. Here we go. Rook on the open file to attack the king. And I think I'm gonna go here and attack the rook, and also line up here, which gives me the option to take here. I could also take there right away and then go queen d4 with a fork, which maybe you could argue is better. I don't know. Actually, maybe it is. We'll do it. But they both were you know, pretty good. All right, here we go. So there's a nice little tactic for you. Win the rook. Which one do we want? They both look good. I like this one because it gives me access to the king. I like this one because I'm going to get another piece next move. So, I don't know. We'll take this one and go for the checkmate, I guess. So check forces either bishop c8 or king here. Queen comes over. That looks great. So let's do it with the check. I'm expecting bishop c8. Yeah. I think here's a good moment to sacrifice just because I want to just get to the king. I just want to get to the king. I don't have to. I could just, you know, normal move, but I want to just expose the king totally. I have another rook ready to go anyway. And so it seems like a great time to sacrifice the exchange like that. Okay, and then let's look for some checkmates here because we might be very close. Check. The knight could come in. Knight h6. The rook could also come over. I could do the rook over first. Or I could play knight here. Yeah, maybe let's do this. So what I'm thinking is, while the king is unable to go backwards, let's leave the queen there and bring the knight in to force it to either come up, which can't be good, right? Or to go over here, which also wasn't good lining up with the rook. So that was my logic there. And now, again, I'm thinking of in terms of forcing the king to keep moving the wrong way, right? I don't want to let it go and hide. Even if I have to sacrifice a knight, I'm willing to do that. And again, it's cut off. So what can I do? I think f4, even though I'm sacrificing, I'm luring the king forward. Or yeah, you could go there, but then we have g4. Or maybe now's the time to bring the rook over. Let's see. Where is there a checkmate? I have this move actually. Ah, okay, there you go. And see, a lot of times, guys, like I don't see the whole line. Like I didn't see all of this way back here. But you don't have to. You can go on your principles of like, look, if I'm forcing the king to come up, it has to be good for me. It just has to. That's just how chess works, right? Again, did I see like that I was going to guarantee a checkmate in a few moves? No, but I just figured it's got to be there. And now I'm seeing it later. Here we go. So there's the checkmate. Okay. Hopefully that was somewhat helpful, even though, yeah. Anyway, next spot. Okay. And I don't know why we're white every game. I'm positive I set it to random, and yet it's just giving us white every game. I don't know. Let's go with the same thing. Maybe Santiago is going to play some normal moves. Hey, there we go. There we go. A developing move that controls the center. Oh, wow. Look at this guy. My hero. My hero, Santiago. Thank you. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to castle. And d6. Okay, interesting. I was hoping to see knight f6. I wanted to show you guys something. It's all right. So probably I'm just going to play d3. The other way, there's kind of two ways to approach these types of positions. Number one is you play d3. You just kind of keep the center the way that it is. You develop your pieces and the game goes on. The other way is you play c3 and you try to just play d4 right away, which is a bit more aggressive and you kind of fight for the center earlier. So it kind of depends. They're both totally fine. Maybe I will go with c3. It doesn't really matter. Just a matter of personal preference. So let's calculate here. If I play d4, takes, I've got an attack on the bishop, so this is not an issue. Even if I didn't have that, this looks bad because my rook is ready to go. So no reason to worry about that, and I think we can safely play d4. Okay, didn't want to take me. So there's kind of three options, right, when you have a position like this. Option 1, you trade. Option 2, you push forward. Option 3, you just leave it and you do something else. So usually I just kind of like to calculate them one at a time. A lot of times in these situations, there's not like it's always better to do one over the other. You just need to kind of calculate it and see which one makes sense. So for example, if I take, but black's probably just going to take, does that benefit me or not? I don't really think that benefits me too much. If anything, I'm thinking like this guy's going to come out and maybe the rook's going to come over and attack my queen. And I don't know if I really like that. So let's move on to something else. How about d5? Okay, where's the knight going to go? If it goes to a5, now that's interesting because the knight's kind of misplaced over there. I could probably just move my bishop and maybe even trap the knight. So, okay, so I'm liking d5. And then the other option, what if I do something else? Let's say maybe like bishop g5. We could probably force something like f6 or knight f6. And we go back. I don't know how good that is, but I did like d5. So, I analyzed all three options. I saw an idea, right? And so I'm going to go with d5. And also I gain a bunch of space. So, okay, and he goes knight b8, which, yeah, maybe that's better than knight a5, but it's really passive. So I'm pretty happy with the way that worked out. All right, so what do we want to do? I could throw in this move here to threaten to trap the bishop. Now, black's probably going to see that and stop me, but gain a little bit of space over there if that's what I want to do. Or we need to think about maybe trying to play f4 to attack on the king side, or just develop my pieces and wait. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to force it in a position like this where there's not any necessarily clear targets. So I'll go ahead and play a4, threatening to trap the bishop, and Santiago now, kind of starts to fall apart. Up until this point, I think black had a pretty decent position, but now it's, free pawn. We can trap the bishop as well. Probably, I was trying to think if I could take the pawn first and then trap the bishop, but after f6, I would have to deal with this, and he could have time to save his bishop. With that in mind, I believe the best thing to do is go ahead and trap this guy while I can right now. Okay, and of course you can go there, but we have b4. This is kind of a version of the Noah's Ark trap. I just did it a little bit differently. Okay, am I worried? No, I can take back. No real risks there, so let's go ahead and grab the free piece. And all right, what do we want to do? D6. It's probably not a move I'm going to play, but the reason I'm considering it is it unleashes the bishop. And you want to keep these kind of moves in the back of your mind because sometimes they can be very, very powerful. Now, in this particular moment, like I said, I don't think I'm going to do it because I don't really have a follow-up. But I am just considering it. Okay. Bishop b5 check. Maybe queen a4 check. Maybe to get out of the pin. I kind of like that because then I can move my knight. Or maybe I'll just defend the knight. It might be the easiest thing to do. Or I could play h3, try to force a trade, and if the bishop goes back, g4, and then jump in here with the knight. Ooh, that actually looks pretty good. So this one or h3, g4, do I want to get aggressive and chase that bishop around and then jump in? Yeah, I think I do want to get aggressive here, so I'm going to play that one. If I didn't want to, I would have played knight d2, but okay, he decides to just trade, which is great. Okay, what do we have? Free pawn. All right, what else do we have? Anything more powerful than that? We have a check, but c6 looks pretty good. a6, y, knight a3. He could stop that relatively easily. Let's take the free pawn. Notice how just because I see a free pawn, I don't immediately make that move because there might be a better move. So you kind of scan around, you look. If you don't see anything better, all right, then you take the pawn. But it's worth spending just a little bit. No, I didn't spend a lot of time. I just looked at a few simple things, right? Like what happens if I push this pawn? What happens if I go check? What happens, and I didn't see anything. Now this is obvious, it's a free queen, so take that. All right. And the king looks like it's in danger. So here, remember what I said earlier. Now's the moment, I think. Look at this. That's why you always keep it in your mind because you never know when it's going to be time to do it. And now I'm unleashing the bishop with the check so that my queen can come in. And Santiago is about to get checkmated here. Okay, so do you see how I saved that and I was just waiting for the right moment? So we can come over here and win a rook. Can't argue with that. We can go for a check to force the king off the back. Or we can bring in reinforcements, which is what I'm leaning towards, honestly. Bringing in the reinforcements. Now, I could also go here and win this rook. It's funny. I could win either rook in the corner. Oh, and I could even do it in an interesting way. I could go check and then take the rook. Yeah, that's pretty good. Then we could probably get the knight too. So just because it's so forcing, it's a concrete line, I will go ahead with this idea. And snag that. We're going to get this guy as well. And basically, it's all over here for black. Ooh, we do have the en passant. I can't turn that down. I just can't turn it down. We've got the rook lined up here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Santiago started out so well, and now he's just falling apart. Let's take this one. Let's take this one. And now we can look for the checkmate. I think I see it. If you guys want to pause, mate in 2. It's actually a fun little... It's a fun little mate in 2. Well, if you had a chance to look at that, and there might be multiple here, but the one that I saw is rook here forces the king off of the back to here, and then we can go queen d5 for this nice little. I don't even know what pattern this is, but it's a cool looking checkmate there. All right, so good game, Santiago. He did better. And then Karim. All right. Oh, we got black finally. Okay, cool. So f4. Now this is actually very different than f3, which is interesting because you think, oh, it's f pawn, it's weakening the king, and it is. But it allows the knight to go to f3, and the knight on f3 does a great job of defending along these diagonals. Why? Because it, number one, controls h4, so you don't have to worry about a queen coming there if you're white, right? You don't have to worry about that. So this is not nearly as bad of a move as f3 is, okay? And the typical approach would be something like d5, and you develop your pieces and whatever. But what I like to do is play e5. This is a gambit. And, all right, well, if they take the gambit, I was going to play d6. And then when they take that, you take here with the bishop, and it immediately lines up on some of those weak areas of the board. And that's how I like to play it. Everything is clear and open, because you sack the pawn. But now we just end up in a king's gambit, which is fine. The best thing to do against king's gambit is to play d5. It's just like the refutation to the king's gambit. Queen f3. So whenever somebody moves their queen, I always start thinking, how can I just chase that queen around with my pieces? That's what I want to do. And so I'm immediately thinking I want to take that because after they take me, boom, I'm going to chase it around. And you're saying, but Nelson, you're going to lose your pawn with check. I don't care. I'm going to play bishop e7, and guess what I'm going to do after that? Boom, chase it around. Then I'm going to castle and bring my rook over and chase it around some more. And that's what I care about. So I'm happy with that. Let's take it. Perfect. Here we go. Boom. Chase it around. Chase it around. Come on. I wanted him to take it because I was going to show you guys. Anyway, he's trying to take with the pawn, which actually is probably a smart thing to do. Again, I'm thinking chase it around. And if the knight comes out, boom, I'm going to push that, probably attack here. Now I have to watch out for d3 because it's pinned. Does get a little tricky, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to just go crazy with my pieces being all over the place. So yeah, we're going to do it. Basically, you have to judge, like, how far ahead are you in development. If you're way ahead, you can do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do. So, and we're not going to get to see it because he's just here, unfortunately. But yeah, okay. Again, I think I'm just going to develop, and if this happens, I snap it off with the knight, and I'm attacking the queen again. So let's go ahead. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, and Karim only has the queen out. Yeah, here we go. That's what I was talking about. Again, okay. I don't care. I literally don't care at all. I'm going to play c6, and oh, I forgot the. Okay, I should have cared about the knight. Should have cared about the knight. I was thinking this. That's a mistake. That's a pretty big mistake. But even though I just blundered a piece, I still think my position is great because I'm going to play bishop e7. I'm going to castle, and look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to castle, and you're going to see even down a piece, White's position is not good. We can check the eval actually after the game. I'm curious to see in this position right here, is White even winning? Or is it just like a slight advantage or something, even being down a piece, because the position is so bad? I think. We'll see if I'm right about that. So here we go. And White's got to be super careful. Okay, he goes queen f4. So I'm just kind of thinking along the same lines of, like, attack the queen, gain some tempo, unleash my rook. So bishop d6 looks good. Let me just verify this time, make sure my pieces are actually defended, which they are. So here we go. And okay, how do we keep increasing the pressure? Queen e7, I like that because we just line up there. Also gives me the option to maybe go here. Queen, I don't want to trade queens. Queen a5 is probably not good enough. So yeah, I'm thinking here is what I want to do. But also think about moving this just to jump in with the knight. But that seems, yeah, I think I'm going to go with queen e7. Trying to pile up on the pinned piece here. Okay, probably a good move. He is, let's see, what do we do here? We have bishop c5. Where's the queen going to go? Queen doesn't have a lot of options. So I'm leaning towards bishop c5. Maybe I want my rook to be there first. Queen e5, is that good enough? Takes, let's see. I'm seeing some cool stuff here. So let's go with this. And of course, if this happens, well, it can't happen now. It could happen later. Oh my. Well, we had a good game going there for about 3 moves. I'm going to take the queen. I'm going to take the queen. I'm going to take this. We've got the battery, and it's all over now. Okay, I could take it back, but I also could just go and checkmate him. So I think that's better than taking it back. Checkmate, right? So yeah, this was a weird game. I mean, I still want to go look and see at the moment that I mentioned. I did blunder the knight. I did totally blunder the knight. Let's do the game review on this one. Okay, where was the blunder? Yeah, here. So check it out. This is funny. All right, so look at my advantage. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on one second. Look at my advantage, okay? 2.7. And then he goes here. Even blundering a piece, it's not that bad. It's 1.4, which is like a pawn and a half, okay? But I still have a lot of compensation for being down that piece. And that is why, if you follow these principles, even if you blunder a piece, you're still going to be in a decent position, right? Now, what should I have played instead? Well, probably needed to... I had to save the knight, so I had to, like, move the knight back here, probably. And then if he takes this, I'm perfectly happy with this. Here, castles, rook comes over. I didn't see it. But, yeah, just keep attacking, and then like all of a sudden, look at this. The position is equal again. And then now I'm better, just like that, right? Best move was bishop c5, yeah. And I was thinking about d4. I was going to take it. And the idea is that when the queen takes, we snap this guy off. We have a checkmate threat. And white has to be really careful. And I don't know. Yeah, Stockfish says they can survive, but it's still better for black. So anyway, I hope you guys learned something from that. Some weird games there. But anyway, we'll pick it up next time with the intermediate bots. It should get much more interesting. I'll see you guys there. Stay sharp, play smart, and take care.